from every part of the world you are watching us from. Welcome to another interactive discussion on the Youth Circle with me, your girl, Princess McCaffrey. Today we are discussing a very important topic and the gender roles among children and teenagers. I know you people, you guys at home, parents, friends, you've been listening to this topic and you have a lot to say about it, a lot to know about it. So today I have two adorable, amazing, important people with me here to discuss this wonderful topic. But before then, remember you can follow the Youth Circle playlist on YouTube, Newer TV, share, comment, subscribe, and talk about it to people around you. So, gender roles among children and teenagers refer to societal expectation and norms regarding how individuals should behave, think, or feel based on their gender. I have with me Mr. Yacet Ketemepi and Miss Ngozi Ikechukwu.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
To the people viewing us from the house, Mr. Yacet, can you please present yourself for us?
I have many caskets. I am a servant of God, an apostle specifically, and I'm a Bible teacher. And I also a media man, marketer. So that's how.
A lot of people do not know you are a media man. So
I'm a media man. I work at Newer TV. I'm the advertising manager. Yeah.
Miss Ngozi?
Okay. I go with the name Ikechukwu Ngozi. I'm a lecturer, an educator, and the managing director of Golden Saint Academy.
Wonderful.
Okay, as I said, we are discussing gender roles among children and teenagers. So, Mr. Yacet,
Yes.
if they say gender role, what comes to mind?
When we talk about gender role, it's what identify one gender according to what the society is expecting them to show, if I can say it simply. So when we talk about gender role, what are girls to do on the side of the society, and what are boys, or even we are into teenagers and children, what are they to do, or what are they to show to the society? This what I can say for now.
He has said it all, but I just have to say it is like the appropriate way a particular gender should play their role, what is expected of them in the society, or what is generally termed appropriate for each gender or sex to do. Yes.
So how does gender roles affect children and teenagers?
When we talk about gender roles, it's just more or less like the fundamentals or the foundations of what they will be or what they will become. Yeah. So when the gender role is not well or appropriately designed, there is a little confusion in the personality. The personality will not be shown the way it's supposed to be, and it also creates a lack of confidence in oneself.
Okay, I would like to look at it from the perspective of what he said, like building each individual. Okay, how does this affect the gender of a child? You can always see that in building their self-confidence and self-esteem. You want to see children who know their genders as people who have confidence and know what the society expects them to do. They look at life from the perception that is acceptable by the society or that is generally welcomed in the world. Okay, they want to look at their gender too as something that this thing is what I'm expected to do, and this thing is how I'm supposed to carry out some activities around me. So basically, gender role affects them to know their perception about life, the right perception about life. Yes.
So what is the influence of parents in this gender roles?
This is where many things comes in, because as parents, we are the first educators of our children, and we are those who prepare them to what they will become. The fundamental education have this specific role of guiding everyone into, as our lecturer says now, into our confidence. That's the reason why right at home, when a child is not doing something the way it's supposed to do, parents have to emphasize so he can, have this capacity doing it. So the role of the parents is to lay down whatever is needed first before the society can, how can I say it? Put an okay on what they have. Or agree on what they are bringing in. That's when there is a lack from the home, there is a problem that comes to the parents. They will tell the parents, you have not been able to do this. Maximize. That's the way it is. So the parents have a crucial role into doing this. And that's even the reason why when the parents are not together, and
it affects the child.
It affects directly the gender role.
Okay, I want to look at it that the parents are the first agent of socialization. The statement or what we hear, charity begins at home. Most people don't understand what it means. It means that whatever the child wants to learn, he or she start learning at home. So you want to look at the parents as their greatest role model, the person who will shape that child into becoming whatever he or she wants to be in the future is from the home. If a family, gender role, let's not leave the topic. If you are in a family where the father is playing the role of the mother and the mother is playing the role of the father, the children tend to see it as the normal thing. True. Okay, if they see their father beating their mother, they look at it like, oh, it's a normal thing to beat the female gender. Okay, if they look at their mother too as a weaker vessel, they look at it too as from that perspective too, that it's a normal thing to be weak as a female child. And if rightly influenced, if you're doing the right thing too as the parents, the children capture immediately before the society impacts or the school or whatever impacts in them.
Okay. So how do traditional gender roles affect the choice of hobbies and interests of our children?
Okay. I'd like to say something. Traditional gender role, it's like the roadmap of every gender. Okay, it's like the normal way a girl is supposed to behave, a boy is supposed to behave. In the society today, we want to look at some kind of hobbies or some kind of activities that are characterized by the female gender and some kind of activities that are also characterized by the male gender. So it can always affect the children or the teenagers. They are still trying to grow up. They can be easily influenced. So if care is not taken or there's no balance in what their gender should be, you see the child, when that child wants to play some activities that is not peculiar to what the traditional gender role is saying, you want to look like you're out of the picture. You cannot see a girl playing football in the traditional. You rarely see a girl playing football because it's like an activity that is termed with the masculine future. So it's also the same thing as the nursing area too. You rarely see a male child wanting to say, I want to be a nurse. But it doesn't stop them. They can also do well in that field. But it can actually affect if it is overly or rigidly imposed on the children. It can limit them, I would say. It will limit their way of exploring into different fields and all that. So
if I have to say something, traditional impact in the gender role is just like the ordinances that are laid down for each of them. So they can go, a traditional gender role have to do with the values of every how can I say it, every group of people. And in some groups, for example, the gender role impact the ladies to be working for the men. And other places, it is the men who have to to wait for the ladies. And they imply this thing right from the childhood. And as she says it now, there are so many things that are laid down to identify every gender according to what this particular society wants them to become. So these things are, at some places, the traditional plays a very crucial role in the becoming of those people according to the fundamentals that they have.
So we know media today can impact our children a lot.
My God.
We are going to tackle media. How can media impact our children when we come to gender roles?
There's there's a lot to say, because if you look at the percentage of children that are into the media, it's a lot. Unlike before, that even at age 18 you don't even have a phone, but now age 5, 6, 7, 8 they have phones, so it can influence positively and negatively. Let's not always term the media as a negative influence to the gender role. But as I always advise the first agent of socialization and the second agent to look into what these children watch on the media, because there are characters that want to portray the opposite of what is socially acceptable. Okay, you I don't know if you've heard about the LGBTQ something like that, and it is always portrayed in the media. And most times, if you don't watch what your children or teenagers are looking at, you see that through their algorithm or something like that, you notice that they watch things that may not align with what you want them to see their normal gender role as. You see a girl watching a boy because she's used to people saying she's weak, or the society saying she's weak, and she believes that becoming the other gender would make her stronger. You see, so the media would portray that to her, because whatever you watch forms what you become. Okay, so if they are going through this thing, it can actually influence greatly on how they want to perceive their gender role as. Even for some movies, because in media we talk about the movies too that they watch. Sometimes these movies, as parents, we should look at what our children are watching. So if they are watching things that would want to transform their head from the natural or socially acceptable way, you can correct it, because the media has a lot of power in influencing the gender role of every child,
especially in this 21st century when media is now available.
It's like everybody.
When we talk about media, as she rightly said it, there are tics and many things that are introduced into media that are not all conform to what we have as fundamental for the gender roles. When we expose our children to everything that they want to watch on the media, I remember one year, it might be 4 or 5 years, there were some children. I was in the cyber cafe, and there were some children that came into a corner, and it was the owner of the cyber cafe who was interested into what they were watching there. When he went, they were watching things that are inappropriate. And those children I'm talking about, they were less than 10 years. They were watching things and express it. It was through the expression that the face expression that the owner of the cyber cafe says, those children are not watching something safe. And he went and stopped them. The same thing, sometimes we allow our children to be watching TV, and we believe that they are watching cartoons. But what is in this cartoon that they are watching? So at many moments we need to be, we need to be watchful on what they are interested in. Maybe we may believe that those things are safe, but there are some little information that we don't master over there that we need to be very watchful on. There are some people that will just have a list of cartoons that their children can only watch.
Parents guide, yes, we advise parents to do that.
Yes, so we have to, be watchful on so many
because
things.
Whatever is posted on the social media is not sieved.
Yes.
Anything can go out there. Anything. When I mean anything.
TikTok.
Yes.
Anything. Like the children, I feel pity for parents who do not go through their children's, whether it's tablet or whatever. Try to go through their algorithm. Go through what they see. Because what they see, like I said, can
form them.
Who they become.
Yeah. And also medias, this is the role of the medias, interesting you into seeing things that they want you to have as figures.
And I said something, let us not always tag the media to just the negative. This is media. We also have positive things where they can always learn the right way to do things. But just I want the unifying. Let there be a guide to what they watch. That's it.
That will go to parents, because parents have important role to play in their children's life. So how do schools reinforce gender roles?
Schools.
Actually, in schools, I believe that we are in position where teachers have their agenda that they communicate to the children, and most of the time, apart from their programs that they have, the educational program, the school have this priority to be putting them in a stable way. Neutral sometimes, and making sure that what you are learning is what you are becoming.
Yes, true.
But we know that there are some specialized schools that are also, directed into this gender role by, when I take, for example, a football school. When you go there, either you are male or female, they will train you. They will train you to become. I want to talk about the model schools. There are some model schools, when you go, they will train you either male or female into working like how a model will walk.
Yes.
Maybe you may be walking like a female or you walk like a male. It depends. So there are some specialized educational directions that can also emphasize on the negative or on the positive. But generally, schools are neutral into these things, though they will direct you into some aspect, but most of the time they are neutral into this gender role.
Okay. School, it's something I practicalize already. How do they help gender role? The school is like the second agent of socialization. I believe one thing, just like the parents have a lot to play, the school also has a lot to play. Because the child spends almost let me not put it more time so that the parents don't get it twisted, but they spend a lot of time with the teachers, and the two individuals that can help influence these gender roles are their peers, their classmates, and then the teachers. Now I always advise the teachers to, make sure that there is equal rights. Do not limit any gender. Okay? Yes, inform them about who they are. Inform them that you're a girl, you're strong. Inform them that you're a boy and you're strong too. So do not limit them. Don't try to put a particular gender higher than another gender. If it is the boy that is doing well, let him be the head of the class. If it is the girl that is doing well, let her be the head of the class. And there's this thing that during our days, they limit us to some certain subject, like the STEM related subject. The subject, it's an acronym. It means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. They want to limit the female child, saying, naturally you're supposed to go into nursing, nurturing, because that's your nature. They limit the female child to this subject. And if you look at in the world today, those that are females that are studying this STEM related, so they are doing well. People who are doing well in electrical engineering, I don't think the school should limit children to the particular curriculum or subject that you want. Every child should be treated equally, whether girl or boy. I was advantaged to study, a lot in mathematics. I loved mathematics, and it doesn't stop me from being a girl. You should impact the same in every child. As a male child, you can do nursing, and there's nothing wrong with it. As a female child, you can study engineering, and there's nothing wrong, as long as you are maintaining your gender role, the natural and acceptable role by the society. Thank you.
Are there any difference in the ways boys and girls are treated in our society, especially when it comes to gender expectations?
No, is it? I would say it's not like in the 19th centuries. Nowadays, there are so many things that has moved forward, and even in the society today, you meet some genders that are doing well, as she just said. All is about the confidence that you have when you are being brought up in this gender role. I was one day traveling, and it was a female who was the pilot. She was a captain. She just came and said, okay, I want to appreciate everyone. We are traveling, and I will be in command. If it was some years back,
they would
say, no, please, please allow a man to be. But the kind of confidence that you have in yourself will put you in a position of doing some things. And I don't think society will stop you when you proudly show that you are capable of doing this. So I don't think we today are having emphasized on the society, not the society always. Even if sometimes when you go to the traditional areas, there are some things that you cannot do, but broadly society is opening doors for everyone today.
Okay.
I think the 21st century is also helping us a lot.
I pray it's like that in every society. I used to feel very bad or very sad when I hear that there are still societies that limit, their expectations from the girl child and their expectations from the male child. There are societies that have a lot of regard for the male child. They want to see that if they invest in the male child, that investment is not going to waste. Let's forget about it used to happen years back. Okay, I can use my tribe, for example, the Igbo tribe. They have regrets for the male child, and most times this pressure can actually affect the child or that teenager who is trying to navigate life. It can affect the child emotionally, causing that child to go through PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, going through a lot of pressure, because there is family. They are already trying to build a kind of stereotype that as a boy you're supposed to head the family. Yes, it's okay. It's okay to train your children in that way, but putting too much pressure on them can always affect the way they even interact with their fellow individuals. Okay, I love what he said about the society, we influencing the society now, not the society influencing in so many areas. They limit the girl child. They want to see it that if they invest in you, it is going back to the kitchen. Okay, I appreciate my father a lot. He believed in us. Every child is equal. Okay, there's no child that would do better than any other child because you're a girl. He never limited us. He was in fact, I should use the word, he was my number one fan. Okay, he would always encourage me, just like he would encourage the male child too. Not building too much expectations to what the boy child can do and what the girl child can do. So if there is a particular expectation for the boy child, yes, there is in societies today, there is. But I pray there should be a balance between the boy child and the girl child, just trying to make them understand so that they can navigate life, taking life with process, easy, not too much pressure on that child or that teenager.
She just say it's her father who is the first star. But for me, it's my mother.
Okay.
It's my mother. Whatever I am today, I can give it to my mother because she was very, very hardworking woman. That shows us how to wake up early, even when you sleep at midnight. By 4 you have to be up, start working, doing something. So, as I said before, it depends on how you have been brought up, what has been introduced in you. This is the only thing that you can reverse into your children.
There should be a balance. Even my mother too was there for us. So if you find a family where there's unity, the father is giving the encouragement, the mother is giving, there's a blend. It shows in the child. I'm telling you from experience. You see a child who was brought up by both parents being together, that child excels faster than whoever is limited to just one.
This is a point that you are making, because I always pray that parents should understand that when they are not stable, they are producing children who will never be stable.
Exactly.
This is a point that we can never hide ourselves from, because there are many people you meet in the society. You rightly from their actions
you can tell where they are coming from.
Yes. So the imbalance in the life of so many is not their problem, but this problem came from their house. And they are just the result of what is going on over there. So
first agent of social.
And no matter what happens in your couple or your relationship, make sure it doesn't affect your children. Because at the end of the day, your children will end up losing.
Losing.
You create a big problem for
but
society.
Most times you cannot hide it. You just try so much, but you can't hide it. If there's an issue, there's an issue. Okay, but just create a balance because of the children and the teenagers that you have around you.
And I want to add something today. This gender role today is not like in the olden days where you have to get up to 9 years
before
or 10
you
years
start
before you understand. Nowadays, right at 3 years old,
you should.
They are ready to tell you what is not going on well. So
it's just like sex education too, okay? From the basics. Start informing them that you are a girl, you can do this. You are a boy, you should do this. You are a girl, you should do this. Just at the basics.
So we are about to wrap up this show, but I would like you to give an advice, or especially with Mr. Yasin, since he's the apostle in our midst today. So any advice you want to give out to people watching us today?
Actually, if I want to take it from the Bible perspective, we have this crucial role to play as parents to guide our children into what they have to do and what they are to become. It is not only prayer. The Bible education is also very, very strict on the fundamental. What are we to do? This gender role take its source from the Bible. The Bible says, train the child the way it should be. So when he will grow, he will not derive from it. What means that from the childhood, we have this to know and to introduce it in the life of the children. So parents have to know that their role in the life of the children is not a passive role, but it is a fundamental role. When you want your child to be a president, start training him to have a mindset of a president, to have the courage of leading a whole nation, and the stability of knowing whom he is, and to be able to direct people into the right way. If you don't do it, tomorrow there will be losers everywhere, and it will be a burden to the society. So this is my counsel.
Okay, I want to say this: ADHDs are real. It's an acronym: attention deficit hyperactive disorder. sometimes parents are overly busy that they don't remember their first assignment. As a father, as a mother, your first assignment is your children. Is your child, is your teenager. So when you miss it, remember that there are a lot of destinies that are tied down to that particular destiny in your hands. So if you pay attention to the little one that have been given to you, you know, you can do more in impacting the nation. You don't have to come out as the president. You failed, but will you allow your child fail? No. So guiding them into their right gender, making sure that they are not limited. Do not limit. I would advise parents, schools, whatever it is, not to limit any gender. Any child can be the president. Any child, not when they are saying some kind of thing. So shut up. You can't be this because you're a girl. You can't be this because you're a boy. And let's be careful what we portray as models that we are to the children that we have around us. Because definitely you have a lot to impact in their life under their gender role.
We are ending on these words. You have a lot to impact on the agenda. Thank you very much, Mr. Yasin Kitimibi.
You're welcome.
For being part of the show today. And Miss Ngozi Kechuku, thank you very much.
Me.
And a big shout out to my production team, my producer, Jerry Tona Matiobe. Thank you very much for the great work you are doing. Mr. Risha Kurfanga, my director. Miss Rebecca, here with me. Mr. Prudence, Mr. Ekwe and Mr. Senyo, thank you very much for the great job you are doing. The Youth Circle is broadcast each and every Friday at 11:15 a.m. and then at 6:15 p.m. and same as Sunday, repeats at 6:15 p.m. Thank you very much, lovely viewers, for the good job you are doing, watching us every day on this front. Bye-bye.